Hi everyone, it's Monica from Blue Star Crochet. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to have you here for another super cute and super easy crochet project. So today in this video tutorial we'll be crocheting together the Hop Bunny blanket. So this is a super cute children's blanket, but of course you can make one for yourself if you want to. I wouldn't blame you at all. So this is a super cute bunny blanket. It's a hooded blanket, so we'll be creating this bunny blanket in the block stitch. So this is the beautiful block stitch. We'll be working the block stitch in corner to corner technique, so we'll be working diagonally across the blanket, and once you reach the finished width or the width you're happy with, you can start decreasing to create a square blanket. After that, we'll be creating this little triangle up the top for the hooded part, as well as these two cute floppy bunny ears that we're going to attach to the blanket, as well as this sleepy bunny face. So this is a super cute blanket that you can crochet for your kids. They'll be so happy to have this blanket because honestly my little boy loves this, and of course it's a hooded blanket, so let's just go ahead and put it on our heads. And of course this is a hooded blanket, so as you can see, you can pop the blanket on your head and easily wear it around the house. Of course it will keep you super warm because it not only covers your body, but it actually goes over your head to keep you super cool and super toasty. So this is my bunny face hot bunny blanket. I hope you like it, and I hope you enjoyed the video tutorial that's gonna follow. As I said, you can grab the PDF pattern from my shops over on Etsy and Ravelry, and you can also grab a whole yarn kit, so you'll get all the yarn that you need to make this blanket from Dreamy Wool website, because that's the yarn I have used, and the guys behind Dreamy Wool have put together an amazing yarn kit that you can get via the link in the description for this video. So go ahead and check that out, because you'll get everything you need in this kit. You'll get this cookie dough yarn, you'll get the white yarn, and you'll also get the black embroidery to finish off the bunny's face. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's crochet together this super cute floppy ears hot bunny blanket. And how would you like to win a PDF copy of the Hop Bunny blanket pattern? If you want to be in with a chance to win a copy, comment the word bunny below this YouTube video, and I'll pick 3 winners who will receive a PDF copy of this super cute pattern. So let's get into the tutorial. So in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to work the main body of the blanket, or the main stitch, because as you can see, we are using the block stitch, but we will be working on the block stitch corner to corner or diagonally across. This is a great technique if you don't want to determine the size of the blanket right off the go. So you will be working from the point, increasing on both sides, and then once you reach the desired width or the desired diagonal measurement of your blanket, we will start then decreasing back towards the point until we create a beautiful square blanket. After we finish the main body of the blanket, we will move on to the hooded part, which is this cute bunny here. So we will again start from the point and increase until we reach the width of the hood, or the size of the hood that you would want on your blanket, or you can follow the written pattern. Once we create a hood, we will move on to these big floppy ears of the bunny. These are worked in single crochet stitches. So we'll first create the large ear, then we will create the inner ear for the middle. After we've done both ears, they are sewn onto the back of the blanket, and they kind of come over to the front and flop over like a floppy bunny ears. After that, we will create these 2 circles for the cheeks. Now these circles are actually joined in the middle, and you kind of work around one circle, then join onto the other circle and leave the 2 stitches in between unworked, because this is where the 2 circles will join together. After we attach the cheeks only to the hood, only to the front, we're gonna finish off the face with black embroidery thread and create the nose that comes down here, couple of whiskers on both sides, and as you can see, we've got these cute sleepy eyes for the bunny as well. So that's the process of the blanket. We won't be making a whole blanket together in this video tutorial. What I am going to show you is how to work the main blanket stitch. So as I said, we will start with 1 block stitch, then we will increase to 3, then to 5, 7, and so on until you reach the desired diagonal measurement of your blanket. And then we will again start decreasing towards the top, underneath the hood. We will start decreasing until we reach 1 block stitch at the very top, and then we'll end the blanket off. So as you can see, by using the block stitch for the main pattern, it kind of creates this ragged edge, which is a great blanket border as well. So you don't actually have to create a border, because you will have these kind of steps on the side where we will be increasing and decreasing. So there's no need for border. Of course you could add one if you want to, but I really liked this kind of step on the edge, so you don't have to add border if you don't want to. Of course, if you want to, that's totally up to you. So the Hop Bunny Blanket pattern is available as a written pattern in a PDF form on Etsy and on Ravelry in my shops. You can purchase it for small fee. The free version of this written pattern is also available on my blog, bluestarcrochet.com. And this pattern is a great collaboration with Dreamy Wool, because they have actually put together a yarn kit that you can purchase via the link in the description for this video. And the kit actually contains everything you need to make this beautiful, sweet blanket. The Dreamy Wool, it's a Cuddle Soft Chunky. It's 50% cotton and 50% acrylic mix. This is a super soft yarn that is perfect for blankets or baby makes, because it's really soft and it's really low maintenance as well. It's a chunky weight. It's 108 meters per 100 grams or 118 yards per 3.5 ounce ball. Okay, so this is a smaller ball because I have already used some for the blanket. So it does come in 100-gram balls, and for this particular blanket you will need 8 balls in cookie dough. We will also need 1 ball of white, and then you will also need some black embroidery thread to use for the eyes, the nose, and the whiskers. And of course you will need a crochet hook, scissors, and yarn needle for embroidering, and of course for sewing the blanket together and the ears. Okay, so do check out the Dreamy Wool website. The link is in the description for this video. Go and have a look at their yarns. They are super soft and super lovely to work with. They don't split at all, and they're just perfect for baby makes. So do have a look at this cute yarn. And of course, as I said, you can actually grab all the yarn you need for this particular blanket in a kit that is available on their website. So do check it out via the link in the description for this video, and we will get on with the stitch tutorial for this cute blanket. As I said previously, for this video tutorial, I will be using the Dreamy Wool Cuddle Soft Chunky yarn, and I will also be using a 6mm crochet hook. These Knit Pro crochet hooks come in a beautiful kit with all different chunky sizes that are actually metal. We will be using the block stitch, and we will be using the corner to corner technique, so we'll be working diagonally across. So let's start with a slip knot. So I've got a loop, and I'm going to pop the loop on my fingers, Then I'm gonna cross the working yarn with the tail end. I'm gonna grab hold of the tail end and pull up a loop like this. So that creates my slip knot. And I'm gonna pop the slip knot onto my hook and tighten it down to fit. So to start with the first row, we're gonna create the first block stitch. Each block stitch has got 3 double crochet. So to start, we're gonna chain 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 chain, and I'm going to start working into the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to place double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. I've got 3 loops on a hook, then yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through. The first 3 chain stitches that we skipped, they count as the first double crochet, and I've got second double crochet, and I've got 1 chain left, and I'm going to place another double crochet into the last chain of the foundation chain. So let's go ahead and work double crochet like this. And as you can see, this is the first block stitch. I've got 3 double crochets finished. Okay, to work on row 2, I am going to turn my work, and this is where we're going to start increasing the number of block stitches for each row. So for row 2 consists of single crochets and 3 chain spaces that we need to create to be able to work the block stitch on every odd row, and every even row will be the single crochet and 3 chain spaces. So to create, so as you can see, we've got the first block stitch there, and we need to work 1 block stitch out on this side and another block stitch out on that side. So to do that, we're going to create the 3 chain spaces on either side of this first block stitch. So for row 2, we're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I chain 6, and what I'm gonna do now is slip stitch into the first chain. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the first chain and simply slip stitch to create this 6 chain loop. Okay, so all we did was create a 6 chain loop on this side. Okay, so 3 chain at the bottom and 3 chain at the top. Now what I'm gonna do is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna work 1 single crochet into the top of that beginning 3 chain from previous row. Okay, so I'm gonna find the 3 chain and I'm gonna work 1 single crochet into the top of the chain from previous row. Okay, so this is where we are at the moment. And to start the next row, we're going to turn. Okay, bear with me, turn. And again, we are going to create an extra block stitch to start with, the same way as we created the very first block stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 5. So this is start of row 3. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I'm going to start with working double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm skipping the first 3 chains, which are going to count as my first double crochet, and I've just worked 1 double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, and I'm going to work 1 double crochet into the next chain, so into the 5th chain of the chain 5. And as you can see, by doing so, we have now created our first block stitch here. So that's the chain 3, 1 double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, 1 double crochet into the 5th chain from the hook. So we created the first block stitch, that is the increase on this side. Now I'm going to work my second block stitch into this 3 chain space that we have created. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that together. So I've got the 3 chain space there in front of me. So we're going to work 1 double crochet into that 3 chain space, second double crochet, and third double crochet into that 3 chain space. Okay, so let's have a look where we're at the moment. So we've got the first block stitch there, then we created first block stitch of row 3, the middle block stitch here, and what we've got here, what we got left here is that 6 chain loop that we have created at the start of row 2. So we're going to work into that 6 chain loop, and we're going to place 3 double crochet into the 6 chain loop there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And as you can see, by doing this, we will be creating the last block stitch of this row. Okay, there we go, that's the 3 double crochets. And as you can see, by doing so, we have gone from 1 block stitch to 1, 2, 3 block stitches for row 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and repeat that again. So I'm going to turn my work, and we're gonna work the single crochet and the 3 chain loop rows, which is like a setup row for the block stitch to be worked into on the right side of your blanket. Okay, because as you can see, because we're working the block stitches every other row, they will all face the same way. Okay, so all your block stitches will be facing the same way, which means that the front of your block stitch is the right side of your blanket. And when you work on the even rows, which are the setup rows, the single crochet and the chain stitches, that's your wrong side. Okay, because they're just the setup rows to enable us to work the block stitches. So let's go ahead and start row 4. Okay, so we're going to start with chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is to create that 6 chain loop. So what I'm going to do is simply slip stitch into the first chain that I created. Okay, so back to the first chain, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop. So that's a slip stitch. So as you can see, that's the first loop there that increases the amount of block stitches we'll be able to work on the following row. Okay, so that's the first loop. Then I'm going to go ahead, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to work in a space between the 2 block stitches. Okay, so I've got the next 2 block stitches. I'm going to insert my hook in between and work single crochet between the 2 block stitches. Okay, then I'm going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and work a single crochet between the next 2 block stitches. Okay, and for the very last block stitch on the edge, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to work 1 single crochet into the top of the beginning 3 chain from previous row. Okay, so 1 single crochet there. And I know it looks a little bit odd at the moment because we are creating an extra loop on this row, but the extra block stitch on this side will be created on the next row, okay? So I've got 3 block stitches there, so let's turn together and we're gonna work the 5 block stitches together, yeah? So we've got the 1 loop on the end, 2nd loop there, 3rd, 4th. So the 5th block stitch on this side, we will create together now. So again, for the block stitch row, I'm gonna chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's the 5 chain. I'm going to start working into 4th chain from the hook, and the first 3 chains count as the first double crochet. So 1 double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, and 1 double crochet into the 5th chain from the hook. Okay, and by doing so, we have created the extra block stitch on this side. Okay, so as you can see, we have come out again. This is your first block stitch there. So the first 3 chain count as the double crochet into 4th chain and 5th chain from the hook. So that's our first block stitch created there. And as you can see now, what's ahead of us are these 3 chain spaces and the 6 chain loop at the very end, and all we've got to do now is work 3 double crochet into each of those spaces to create our 5 block stitches for this row. So let's go ahead and do that together. So for the next 3 chain space, I'm gonna work 3 double crochet. Okay, so that's my second block stitch. Then we move on to the next 3 chain space, and again we're going to place 3 double crochet into that 3 chain space, and we've got the next 3 chain space, so we're going to place another 3 double crochet into that space. And that brings us onto the very last 6 chain loop at the edge. So what we're going to do is work 3 double crochet into that 6 chain loop to create the very last block stitch. And here we go. As you can see, now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 block stitches. So we've gone from 1 to 3 to 5. And this is basically the technique that you're going to be repeating. So row 4 and row 5, they will become your repeat going forward. So you'll just keep repeating by 2 block stitches. On every block stitch row going forward, we'll have 2 more block stitches because you're going to kind of increase on both sides by 2 extra block stitches there. Okay, so you continue for however many rows you wish to make your blanket as big as you want it to be. If you are following the written pattern, you will have 47 rows altogether. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So continue the pattern for extra 42 rows, or if you repeat in row 4, row 5, it's 21 repeats of those 2 rows. So I'm going to work up a few more rows and I will meet you back and show you how to work the decrease. So we're going to start decreasing the number of the block stitches going forward to make the square blanket. Once you reach your desired width of the blanket, or if you think of the blanket this way, so that's going to be your width and that's going to be the height of your blanket. So once you reach the desired diagonal measurement of your blanket, once you're happy with the finished size, we're going to start decreasing the number of block stitches. Okay, so what we do now is we have finished the repeat on row 5. Okay, so my last row is my block stitch row, as you can see. So if you are adjusting the number of repeats of row 4 and 5, you need to finish with repeat of row 5, or you need to finish on a block stitch row. So to start decreasing the blanket, we're going to turn, okay, and as you can see, we now need to decrease by these 2 block stitches on the edge. So what we need to do is just work these 5 block stitches in the middle. So what we're going to do is basically miss these 2 block stitches on either end. The way to do that is that after you finish your last block stitch row, what we're going to do is chain 1, and I'm going to simply slip stitch into the first stitch, slip stitch into the second, double crochet, slip stitch into the third, double crochet. So you kind of like slip stitch across the top of those 3 stitches there. And what I'm going to do now is at the point between the 2 block stitches. So what I'm going to do is work 1 single crochet in that space between the 2 block stitches. Okay, I'm going to chain 3 to create a 3 chain space, and work 1 single crochet between the next 2 block stitches. Again, chain 3 and single crochet in between. Okay, and you would basically repeat this chain 3 and single crochet between the block stitches all the way across until we get to the last block stitches. So single crochet, and I've got the last 2 block stitches of the row. So what I'm going to do is chain 3 and work single crochet between the last 2 block stitches, and this is where I'm going to stop. Okay, so as you can see, we slip stitch across the block stitch on this side, so we didn't create the 3 chain space here. Then we created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3 chain spaces to work into. And then the last block stitch we're gonna leave unworked, so just forget about the last block stitch. So I finished off with the single crochet between the last 2 block stitches, and I'm going to turn my work, and now as you can see, we're going to simply create 5 block stitches in those 5 3 chain spaces that we have created. So to work into the first 3 chain space, I'm going to slip stitch into that first 3 chain space, simply to move the starting position of my yarn. And I'm going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and work 2 double crochet into the first 3 chain space to create my first block stitch. And as you can guess, we're going to now continue placing 3 double crochet into each of those 3 chain spaces. So let's go ahead and do that. And that brings me onto my last 3 chain space. So we're going to place 1, 2, and 3 double crochet. And again, this is where we're going to stop. So as you can see, we have now gone from 7 block stitches back to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can guess, now we're going to turn our work and we're going to skip the 2 block stitches either end and create the 3 block stitches in the middle. So let's guide you through the next decrease. So as you can see, I'm going to again chain 1 and I'm going to slip stitch into each of those first 3 double crochet on the first block stitch which brings me onto the space between the 2 block stitches. And I'm going to work 1 single crochet into that space, chain 3, work 1 single crochet between the next 2 block stitches, again chain 3, and work 1 single crochet into that space, and that brings me onto the last 2 block stitches. So I'm gonna chain 3 and work 1 single crochet in that space, and then we're gonna leave the very last block stitch unworked. We're gonna turn our work, and as you can see, we have now created three chain spaces to work the 3 block stitches into. So again, I'm gonna slip stitch into that first 3 chain space, chain 3 for the first double crochet, work 2nd double crochet and 3rd double crochet. That brings me onto the next 3 chain space, and the very last 3 chain space, where we're going to place the last 3 double crochet. So here we go. We have now decreased from the 5 block stitches down to 3, and all that's left to do is create our very last block stitch to kind of mirror the beginning of our blanket. So let's go ahead and turn. So again, I'm going to chain 1 and slip stitch across these first 3 double crochets, which brings me onto the space between the first 2 block stitches. So I'm going to work single crochet, chain 3, and work 1 single crochet between the last 2 block stitches, which has created that 1 chain space. So again, I'm going to turn my work, slip stitch into that 3 chain space, chain 3, and place 2 double crochets into that space. And that's basically it. Here we are at the end. We have worked our increase rows, and then we started working our decrease rows. So your bunny blanket square is going to be finished, and as you can see, you've got those kind of nice ruffle edges all the way around your square, all the way around your blanket. So it's totally up to you if you wanted to add any kind of border, but I think this is really nice. It's kind of have that steps on either side of your blanket. So I hope you enjoyed this stitch video tutorial for the block stitch worked in corner to corner technique diagonally across your fabric. It is a really easy way to adjust your blanket because you'll just keep increasing until you reach the desired kind of diagonal measurement of your blanket, or the width and the height of your blanket, and after that you'll simply start decreasing until you get back to 1 block stitch at the top to mirror the start of the blanket. So as I said, the Hop Bunny Blanket pattern is available in my shops on Etsy, Ravelry. The free version is available on my blog, bluestarcrochet.com. Or you can also grab a whole yarn kit from Dreamy Wool website, which is going to contain all the materials you need, all the yarn you need to create your very own hot bunny blanket. And I hope you enjoyed today's video tutorial, and I can't wait to see your versions of the hot bunny blanket. Please do share them with me. I would love to see. So if you enjoyed today's video tutorial, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn the notifications on to be notified every time I upload a new video or new tutorial. And all that's left to say is until next time, bye bye.